What up, YouTube? Always remember this. Don't help somebody that don't want to be helped. Yeah, but I'm helping you, telling you where the stains are.
I know that. I seen it when I seen these guys started at the door.
No, I did not mop the floor.
It is not just the dog shit that's in here on the floor. It's stuff and shit. From us coming in and outside on the dirty ass floor, bro. It ain't just no fucking dog shit. We ain't doing that shit right now. The dog.
That's what I clean up the dog shit.
Clean it up too. I'm supposed to clean it, but no. You make it seem like I don't clean it up. Still 50, bro. What the fuck?
You done over at tweaking out?
Yeah, my son Kenneth used my gun recently. Having leaked the gun, authorities arrested Kenny at his home. He informed authorities that his girlfriend Jennifer had been involved in the commission of the crime. He also said Linda Scheimer had orchestrated the entire crime. Police charged Kenneth Kelly with murder.
Spin on who, nigga? Spin on what? Better nigga call me a flip. Hear what I hate?
Just 1 week into the fall event, police arrested Jennifer Brundage for her role in the murder of Brett Dodd.
Bitch don't set up you. I want you to try. Everybody gonna die in this bitch. She think I'm gonna change her life, but no, I don't take hoes on trips.
Right. What's the Asher?
You had an Asher over there. That's the one I thought you was using. Soft ass shake with me.
The day after Jennifer's arrest, police tracked down Linda Schuyler and charged her with felony murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
Oh shit, nigga, fuck her. You follow that argument, fuck you too. I don't know what's on there. Do like slap. Got a bad bitch with you with a donkey ass. White girl with a wear my monkey ass. I don't wear this bitch, I don't care for that. With your bitch, you must be funky ass. I get a new bitch like that. First they took her ass to the fat. Spin on who? Spin on what? Nigga, better nigga cock your flip. You wanna hang with us? Gonna smoke you a nigga. Everybody got half of the tips. Watch this. Boom! Bitch, die this bitch. Everybody gonna die this bitch. Who would've turned me up? Everybody gonna die in this bitch. Everybody gonna die in this bitch. Well, y'all gonna die in this bitch. He said that even you gonna die in this bitch. Three guys, man. I know what the fuck going on. 2612, man. Slap. Something like that. Huh. Let's go buy some.
Jennifer and Kenneth both paid police and agreed to testify against them. And despite their arrest, the two lovers maintained their relationship. And while both parties are in the Hancock County Jail, they found a way to speak letters to one
I'm
another.
confused because
The couple vows to stand by each other and comes up with a plan to make sure they'll be together through the end of time. A few days before Linda Schuyler's trial, King was found unresponsive in his jail cell. King was rushed to the hospital, which also prompted a check of the entire jail, where Jennifer was then found appearing intoxicated. She was also rushed to the hospital.
Are the town pop up for the weed harvest. Take that shit in.
Couples who believe that they're truly in love will do anything to be together. If they're forced apart,
it said harvesting a crop create a weed batch that in quality your batch will depend on the
Jennifer and Kenneth each recovered
in
from
its
their failed
strain
suicide attempt
as
and
we
testified
are
in Linda's
any
trial.
upgrades
In line with their
use
plea,
a
Jennifer
use
Brundage
at
is
the
sentenced
grow
to 8
house.
years in prison for assisting a criminal. Kenneth Kelly is sentenced to 55 years in prison for the murder of Greg Dobbins. Although Linda Schuyler maintains her innocence, a jury finds her guilty of murder and conspiracy to commit, and is sentenced to 55 years in prison. In the end, following her heart instead of her mind cost Jennifer everything. Young love can be manipulated to do just about anything. However, that love is not worth the price it pays.
Shit.
This couple, they were so desperately in love that they traded their emotions and addictions for one another for clear thinking and common sense. Jennifer made some life-changing decisions that have cost her a future. Jennifer Brundage risked her freedom and her all for the deep love she had for her man. 700 miles away in New Jersey, Sade Harris's desire to secure a life with her new boyfriend puts her promising future in jeopardy. Hailing from a loving household in Trenton, 18-year-old
You already know my first.
teen who plays by the rules.
Sade was known to be a good student, had
Oh.
never been in trouble with the law, and had come really from a solid middle-class background. Her mother and father both worked, held full-time jobs. I believe her father was in his position for 20-plus years, if not longer.
After graduating from high school, she enrolled herself in college while still living under her parents' roof.
Sade entered a community college where she was pursuing a degree in nursing.
But by her junior year in, she hit a bump on the road.
She became pregnant. She continued in her studies despite the fact that she was a single mother. That must have been very challenging because nursing is certainly not an easy degree.
When people have a goal or a dream that they want to Sade turns 22. She is an honor student with only 3 semesters left before becoming a registered nurse. But with all her accomplishments and the support of her family, there's one thing she's missing.
Sade is looking for that love that she feels as if she can intimately have with a partner who can take her life forward. She has a good family background, so she wants that in her own life.
When one grows up in a loving and stable family,
Yeah, man, I do that shit.
to not only want to
Good money to drop back into the business. I got a lot on another strain if you're interested. Read the rappers. Nothing fancy. But it'll tell the toes. As long as you get the job done, no doubt. Man, I figure motivated, ex-enlisted men like yourself should have some bright ideas for acquiring and cultivating.
Right on, I hear you. Let me see what I can do.
Developed very quickly, and within a short time of meeting, they were seeing each other frequently.
The new couple hit the most expensive restaurants and the hottest clubs around town, with Jarrell footing the bill every time.
Like I said, keep an eye on the phone. I got work that way. He's happy with our little side project as long as I'm kicking something for the movement.
The source of his money was never a question, as far as I know. But mine, no amount of money that he was spending might be more than what you think a salesman at a girl's store.
But what Sade doesn't realize is that her new beau has a deep, dark secret that he has to suspect lifestyle.
What she doesn't know could cause her.
Jersey girl Sade Harris.
Yeah, I got 2 words for you. Loyalty program. Snag this hotel for $259. You didn't check Tobago? I got it for $155. Yo, Benny, this guy didn't check Tobago. No, you have to check Tobago. Look, on Tobago, you can compare prices from multiple different sites. And loyalty programs and prices from hotel websites. Same $100 less. 2 words. Check Tobago. Benny. Check Tobago to compare prices and save up to 40%. Hotel. Tobago. Virgo Smart Base from Timber automatically responds to storm. So no more hiding from your loyalty. This is the natural tech story that adjusts the
Got the money in the air house, got it in. Got it. I don't care how much you bring, I can handle it. Got a phone, make some calls, and it's vanishing. You know, I'm on a money ride, and I turn my head back, turn the shot. He ain't gang, yeah, get his ass taxed. Heard you trying to shop, you ain't gang, get his ass taxed. Yeah, I heard you trying to shop, I heard you ain't gang, playing games, get his ass whacked. Playing with the rubber bands, get your ass stretched. Bow, yeah, you in the stretcher, hit your man's next. Heard they fuck with you, what they paying, right? Nah, no patience with this shit, take my ass to the dock. Yeah.
Sade parks the car in front of the bank as Jarrell walks inside.
Jarrell enters the bank without a disguise and hands out a note. The note says, I have to give me $3,000. Don't push me off. He was given a sum of money and then the bank. They drove him away, not aware that he had actually just entered the bank robbery.
That old saying that ignorance is bliss is really true. It's just easy to turn that blind eye and just keep on going, or as we say, just go with the flow. The pair walks away with $4,000 and celebrates.
What the
They
hell
have
is
a
that?
romantic dinner for 2. The following week, Sade is on the up when Jarrell heads out to help his family in Houston, and the 2 agree to take a small break in their relationship while he's gone. And without skipping a beat,
Because it's gonna show me a scumbag. Shout out to Money Man, let's go. You know the negative
After
feedback.
arriving in Houston, Jarrell established contact with a female agency for a
Could have a little bit of Christian.
Some people would
Look on the phone to my ear off.
Not knowing his real intentions, she drives him to a bank, thinking he's going to cash a check.
I got the bed like a brother. 116 So the little boy from Cali, this shit gonna make the place stronger. I read that boy like a farmer. Get it like don't make it small. Just get the rest of my daughter.
Well, we obviously don't know for sure what was in his mind. The fact that by this time he had already committed a number of bank robberies and had been successful in doing so suggests that he was going to continue.
Long time, huh?
In 1 month, he robbed 2 banks and got $9,000 in cash.
Back home in the Garden State, Sade busies herself in school while her serial bank robber boy toy takes on the big one.
Hey!
They want to keep that good, going. Fine guy. First I did, not sight, not sight. She should have gotten out of the whole thing because she didn't know anything was happening anyway.
For the next month, Jarrell parties it up with Latasha, having little to no contact with Sade. But eventually, he knows it's time to go back home. And when he arrives back in New Jersey, Sade's there with open arms.
Things seem to be going relatively way for Jarrell. They're doing well financially, and there's nothing that says that there's any break in the romance.
Cookie boy look at that crystal. Little boy look at that crystals. She wanna kick at jujitsu. Cookie boy look at that crystals. Gelato boy look at that crystals.
After a little over a month of dating on and off, the money begins to wear down, and Jarrell knows it's time to do another bank job, but he's going to need some help. So he decides to fully let Sade in on his money-making scheme, and she assists him in the next hit.
He's kind of taking advantage of her mind and her innocence. He's got control of her thought process.
In the back of our mind, the nastiest lines, which is dope came with the MC came with city cook crap I used to concede, be the kind of honest that I couldn't be. Become that man, but I'd rather die standing, forever living head down, bending the knee. So I purify my soul in the land of the fire. My sweat and my tears, dog pain, in the blood that'll leave on the battlefield, it will prove that it's always known I was born to reign. And I go by the name of Future Hendrix. I gotta find out what my day one fast. FBG. 56 nights crazy, man.
Jarrell casually walks out of the bank with 19.
Man, I ain't feeling that good.
Once she has had a chance to calm her nerves, she whisks them and their food away.
At this point, considering Jarrell's successfully rushed things, and now he's enlisted a partner, we don't know what next.
With banks throughout Jersey on high alert, the new dynamic duo is just getting started.
Engagement with this activity with Jarrell. Sade was taking risks far greater than I think she imagined.
Sade Harris is in the driver's seat of a getaway car after she and boyfriend Jarrell Mulkey rob a bank in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
Sade and Jarrell got away with $1,900 on the bank robbery.
Risk takers are people who take a lot of risk and really do believe in that saying, no risk, no reward. So when they get that reward, it almost becomes addictive that they have to do even more things in order to get a larger reward.
Feeling confident they can pull off another job and double up the money, the duo decides to strike again.
He had Sade drive him to a bank in Hamilton, New Jersey.
The new Bonnie and Clyde hope to rob the bank in the same fashion.
Are you gonna pass the wood or you gonna done?
Once inside, Sade's nerves get the best of her.
She really didn't know what she was
Yeah.
doing. And she got someone who was inquiring about opening an account.
I'm sorry, I was listening to Future.
Right, she didn't know what to do. She clearly had the presence of mind to
You
know
took me
not
just
to
down the all damn
engage her,
wood.
at least not to show it. But at the same time, she hadn't thought through what would happen when the teller asks for identification when she has to open an account.
People who are engaged in
trial. The bank employee is suspicious as Sade quickly leaves the bank and goes back to the car where Jarrell is waiting. When she walks out the door, the prospective banker picks up the phone to report the unusual encounter.
The teller was very observant and able to identify that she was acting suspicious, and she contacted local authorities with that information. Armed with the tip from the teller, the FBI started looking into different bank robberies with similar MOs. It was the information from the teller regarding the vehicle that first allowed the FBI to link that vehicle to potentially other robberies.
4 days later, Sade and Jarrell target another bank in Hamilton, New Jersey.
Upon arriving there, Jarrell went in and followed his usual MO. This time, he wore a hat, but he still did not attempt to disguise himself.
He walked out of the bank, and this time, he had $1,400 to be driving.
Just hold my nigga, he on house arrest. Alright, let's do it again. Keep that. Get a pitch, 30, yeah, 30. I said, oh, yeah. Okay.
That woman, very moving, that robbery to the warrant, robbery as well as instead.
What the thing's going on, dog?
Surveillance video from all three banks. We were able to determine who appeared to be black male there in those banks prior to the robbery, as well as seeing black female.
With the corroboration of the name of the owner of the car, none other than Harris.
Sometimes people put in bad things, and it's either because of being influenced by a peer group or just plain being rebellious.
Meanwhile, the couple continues to spend money from the robberies on booze and partying around Jersey, completely unaware that their wild nights of drunken debauchery are numbered. A couple days after identifying Sade as the getaway driver, the FBI and the local police pay her a visit at her parents' house in Trenton, where she lives.
They told her of the nature of the investigation and indicated to her that her vehicle, or at least a vehicle looking like hers, had potentially been involved in a number of bank robberies.
Knowing that the jig is up, Sade makes a stunning admission.
She acknowledged her role in the bank robberies and exactly what she did, as well as Jerome Mulkey, where they went after the bank robberies, what they did with some of the proceeds. Sade's cooperation included her not only acknowledging that Jerome Mulkey was the other individual involved, but she identified him and specifically identified specific photographs from bank surveillance videos as Jerome Mulkey being the individual depicted.
Sometimes when people are caught because they were influenced by someone else to commit that crime, they're going to save themselves. They're going to look at that person who influenced them and say, wait a minute, it's me or that other person, I'm going to save my own skin.
After Sade's confession and after her implicating Jarrell in the robberies, charges were filed both locally and federally on Sade and also on Jarrell. Now, Sade was taken into custody immediately after she confessed.
But when they try to arrest her partner in crime, he's nowhere to be found. And law enforcement will not rest until he's in police custody.
He could be anywhere. He's a fugitive on the run.
Garden State gal Sade Harris sits in the back seat of a police car on robbery charges, while her fugitive boyfriend of 2 months, Jarrell Mulkey, has made his way back to Houston.
He doesn't even know what's going on in New Jersey and that Sade has been arrested and charged. He's reconnected with LaTasha, and at this point in time, he's about ready to make his next move.
Jarrell walks into a bank while Natasha remains in the car.
Staying at home, walks in, no disguise, same note, whispering
now that you've mastered it.
But this time, Sade is speaking up where it counts. She informs the feds that when he's not in Jersey, Jarrell's partial to the Lone Star State. And they're hot on his heels.
We coordinated with our federal bank robbery coordinator in Houston, sent some photos, and they were able to identify Jarrell Mulvey as having possibly been involved in a couple of bank robberies in Houston as well, based on the information that we were able to provide from New Jersey.
What makes it so easy and so simple is that this bank robber does not have a disguise when he goes in and robs the bank.
Then, just 4 days after his last robbery, the FBI swoops in for the collar.
We had some pretty good information we were able to come up with of his whereabouts. He was subsequently arrested.
After Jarrell was confronted with the evidence, he confessed to committing 3 robberies in New Jersey and 3 robberies in Texas.
He is transferred back to New Jersey, where he faces 6 federal charges of robbery. Latasha Weber is also arrested and charged with 3 counts of robbery. With Jarrell in custody, the FBI also charges Sade as an accomplice to 2 of the New Jersey robberies.
Sade was sentenced to 10 months incarceration, of which she served 5, and she was ordered to pay restitution of $3,300 and also had to undergo supervised release.
This policy is true, and it was especially true for Sade, because when she cooperated, it ended up in her cutting a deal and getting a much lighter sentence.
As for Jarrell's Houston hookup, Latasha Weber, a jury finds her not guilty of the 3 counts of robbery charges against her. Then finally, Jarrell only pleads guilty to 6 counts of bank robbery and receives a sentence of 6.5 years in prison, with 3 years supervised release. He is also ordered to pay $30,300 in restitution, but the time he spent in the big house does nothing to change his ways.
After serving 78 months in federal prison, he's again arrested for robbing official banks in the Houston area and is sentenced to 46 months in jail.
There are 2 scenarios you might see of people who've done time and now are released to society. One set of individuals have been rehabilitated. They perhaps really do believe what they did was wrong and live a productive life. And then you have those who tend to resort back to their ways of crime.
In the end, Sade put too much trust in a man who took her for a ride.
Just like looks can be deceiving, words can be deceiving, feelings can be deceiving, emotions can be deceiving.
Trust is one of those things that needs to be the foundation of a relationship. It needs to be earned and needs to be built day by day. But if you have blind trust and you know nothing about that individual, well then you may be letting yourself in for a big, big fall.
I think my advice to anybody is to really be careful what you do in a committed relationship if what they're doing is something that is risky or can get you into trouble. I would try to run as fast as I could.
Falling in love can feel like diving headfirst into water. The plunge is exhilarating. The rush overwhelms you. Nothing else matters. But if you're not careful, you can get caught up in the current.
Crispy.
Soon you don't know which way is up. You struggle for air and fight like hell until your very last breath. muddy Mississippi River sinks its way into the salty brine of the Gulf of Mexico, where boats and barges begin their journey to busy ports. This intracoastal waterway often looks calm, peaceful, but looks deadly deceiving.
I called 911 came in from a man who was using intercoastal.
Police operator, yes, I was in it westbound. The intercoastal waterway, I'm on the coast, somebody admitted to the water. It's floating straight down. Are you gonna be there? Yes, I'm standing up looking at it here.
The New Orleans Police Department responds to the call.
When I arrived, I couldn't get any notion of how the body died. My initial thought was it could be a natural or it could have been a suicide. We rolled it and we were able to determine it was a female.
One clue immediately reveals to police a sinister story.
So we found this blue rope wrapped around her ankles, and it was frayed off like there was some kind of object next to it.
But who is this woman, and who would want her dead?
It was absolutely atrocious. So you have to think that this is some form of retaliation. We don't know the depth of what's actually going on.
This scene was challenging. I had no idea who my victim was. I don't know where the body went in the water at. I didn't even know the manner of death, but felt like I was definitely working on the outside.
The police have little to go on. News of the unidentified woman's death ripples throughout the Crescent City and beyond.
Even in a city like New Orleans, where there's a lot of killings and a lot of murders, this one stood out for the gruesome nature.
Bruh, I'm sorry to give me a second, man. I just seen Glorilla's sister with a wig on today, y'all, and it's bothering me because I'm like, bruh.
Brittany Martin was very outgoing, did well in school, and after graduation, she attempted to receive a higher education degree. But by the time she enrolled in Delgado Community College, she was pregnant.
Derailed some of her education.
That is crazy.
Brittany's primary duty was inmate supervision. She was actually responsible for monitoring the interactions of the inmates, make sure that they were following protocol, that it was a calm environment, there was no inappropriate activities going on. Though the job gave Brittany a regular paycheck, it also presented a slew of unexpected challenges.
Brittany is very, very attractive. She has those features that would draw man's attention to her. To be a 21-year-old prison guard in a local institution filled with men, she's the retention, obviously, for lots and lots of inmates.
There was sexual harassment and the psychological distress from having to be in that working environment on a day-to-day basis.
However, there was one inmate, a man named Horatio Johnson, who went out of his way to make sure Brittany felt safe. Horatio was certainly a sensitive food, held a very high regard, so he was also a protective barrier for her against any of the other inmates. She was not getting the cat called the threat.
He was very
What the already at the clip I came up in the business. Hold on. Roll up. Attention. Shining. Midnight just like Dennis. Travel. I got rap like Venice. I been putting it on my penis. Yeah. By my lips. Yeah. Looking for that moolah. Yeah. Hey. Treat a demon like a human. Sweet spirits. How you love that? Threats. Yeah.
Plus, there's no business making basic dish towel smell this good. Especially without her husband uses them. Wow. Center are now with motor fighting power. New game plus for dogs. Show me the dog shirts. Try show. Contract doesn't have folks and save it to 50%.
Which seems like $1,000.
Folks with shirt.com is equal to $1,000 a year for car insurance.
You've got a very started deal if you want to go authorization. 95% of life and patients.
This is a tickle. Fast like a game chopping, nigga. And we split the chain. That's her main bitch. Then she on her dick, took shit, that's my house.
That right there is an itty-bitty plant, but he's growing.
Oh, we're going to be a mom and get married, but there is something attached to the
bitch today.
New Orleans detectives are investigating the death of a woman whose submerged body has just been pulled from the intracoastal waterway.
It was a very, very gruesome discovery. Couldn't tell who the victim was. I was overwhelmed, to say the least.
But police catch a break when they examine the body.
We flipped the body, tried to look for any defects or any signs of evidence. We knew that a tattoo had some version of the word kid in it.
Detectives suspect the woman may be one half of a local married couple that disappeared 3 weeks earlier.
Kenneth and Lakeitha Joseph were married with no children. They lived in a suburb of New Orleans. They were reported missing on February 19th, 2014. Why we had to reach out to the investigator that's handling that missing persons investigation. They had confirmed that Lakeitha Joseph, the female of the missing couple, had a lower back tattoo of Kid.
Shortly after detectives ID Lakeitha Joseph, the coroner supplies them with the cause of death.
The pathologist ruled out any signs of strangulation. There were no bullet wounds or stab wounds. The pathologist ruled it as a homicide by drowning.
That same day, investigators reach out to Lakeitha's family and share the devastating news.
I learned that Lakeitha had once been in the military, but left because she was afraid of water, didn't know how to swim.
A fact which makes Lakeitha's death all the more horrific. Water is going into your nose, into your lungs. It's absolutely torture. No one should have to die that way. And neither of Lakeitha's parents can imagine who would have wanted to hurt their beloved daughter.
Kenneth and Lakeitha were close with their loved ones. At no time did Kenneth nor Lakeitha tell their families about any problems or issues they were having.
In fact, Lakeitha and Kenneth were inseparable. So where is her other half?
The Josephs were reported missing by family members who became concerned because they had borrowed a van that they had not returned, which was very unusual for them.
Back at the station, detectives turned their attention to the van that Lakeitha and Kenneth borrowed, but never returned.
So they knew that the couple had been transported in this van at some point and certainly had been injured.
It's looking more and more like Kenneth Joseph may also be dead.
After this van was recovered, detectives were able to find surveillance video from this motel.
At some point, the video, you see the van enter the motel parking lot, and a male comes in to check in at the hotel.
Detectives cross-reference the time and date the van entered the parking lot with the hotel's check-in records. One name appears.
We came up with the name Frank Mike Jr. as the person that was driving the van.
They immediately run the name through their system.
Frank Mike had a series of arrests and run-ins. He was actually on wanted probation at the time for drug dealing.
We find out that Frank Mike has a house in Oklahoma.
But before detectives can make contact with Frank Mike Jr., another body is found floating in the intracoastal waterways.
The body size and the height, weight, all that seemed similar to Kenneth, so I was fairly confident.
Detectives confirm the second body is in fact Kenneth Joseph.
Kenneth Joseph's body also was found at the St. Louis Island Road.
But the real mystery is just the beginning. And what detectives find tethered to the rope reveals the true nature of the crime.
It was very quickly apparent that there were so many steps that had been taken to conceal the bodies.
Ain't no
Another
love.
equally shocking
What's
discovery.
wrong with you?
The identity
Right.
of the killer and the seemingly kind-hearted working mom at the center of it all.
Outside looking in, there's not appears to be a criminal, but
We go with it. Outside.
Around the time she began to date Horatio, Brittany became very distant from her family and was leading a double life. She had a life with Horatio, and then she had a life with her family, who was not that welcoming and didn't think that he was good for her to take care of it. And so because of that, she was hoping to
Try up with the swag, I pull up in a closet, told my main girl to stop it. She called me and profit. Oh my god, damn, she for the profit.
25-year-old former prison guard Brittany Martin found the man in recently paroled felon Horatio Johnson. But the true nature of Brittany and Horatio's romance is about to be revealed. Along with the gruesome lengths Brittany was willing to go to in order to prove her love. It starts when investigators recover Kenneth Joseph's battered body from the same murky waterway where his wife Lakeitha was found 12 days earlier.
This murder definitely stood out.
It'll eat you up alive. It's a game. I'm gone. Green zone. Trying to put me out loud. Find her. Find her. See her. He's up. He's up.
What do you do? Most likely have one also, and it sprayed off in the water and pretty much figured those females used to weigh the bodies down so they would be undiscovered weapons.
It appeared to police that this was a very personalized kind of killing. Both people were still alive when they were actually dumped into the water.
With Kenneth's body now identified, detectives turn their attention to Frank Mike Jr. The man spotted in surveillance footage, driving the van to the Joseph Farm the night they disappeared.
I met with Frank Mike. He had come down to his own accord and agreed to meet with me.
You're doing the right thing by coming to us. I'm
Mike Jr. is surprisingly open with detectives.
Okay, I went over to cut my bread.
Change that.
Parked in the backyard. He didn't know who the van belonged to. He thought it was strange, but he immediately knew to call his nephew, Stephen Bradley. Mike knew his nephew was involved in armed robberies and things of that nature. So he didn't ask any further questions. Frank asked Bradley if he could use the van because he had an upcoming trip to go to Atlanta, and Bradley gave him the okay.
I ain't been to use it for the weekend. I always go to Atlanta by first and why I then I
Frank Mike Jr. tells detectives that it wasn't until he arrived in Atlanta that he realized the vehicle was related to the disappearance of Kenneth and Lakeitha Joseph.
I was looking for
Frank says at that point, he decided to ditch the van.
that it will be my wife and family.
The thing about the van is the van's got blood all over the van. Frank White claimed he didn't know anything about there being blood in it.
Even though Frank Mike Jr.'s story doesn't entirely add up, police have another potential suspect to look into. Stephen Bradley.
I'm trying to locate Bradley, and I'm still trying to develop more information to go back to Frank Mike and kind of tear down his interview. So I'm at a standstill in my investigation.
In the meantime, detectives turn to the most disturbing piece of evidence. The kettlebell used to sink Kenneth Joseph's body.
I remember thinking that's going to be the key to this case.
Detectives were able to work backwards from that, basically find out where this particular weight was sold.
I felt like the kettlebell was fairly new and purchased around the time of the murder, so we go start looking at different retail shops in the area.
Investigators speak with store managers in the New Orleans area about their kettlebell stock, looking for a match. And they find one.
The manager runs the whole SKU number, because you had the sale, showed at midnight one night when it was sold. 2 kettlebells, gloves, blue rope, all hard
Right.
stock. Like, oh my God.
You know what I'm realizing?
Sale, like, can you get video?
The manager sends
They let me make my own weed strain, right? Across Creed Seeds.
We see a couple, male and female, in the self-checkout area, and a person.
You see what I'm seeing? The THC level at 20%. The CBD level is at 40%. When we go get weed, man, our THC be in 30%, but there be no CBD levels. You notice what we noticing, man? They made the weed levels higher and just took the CBD. They took giving us less CBD levels. We're just supposed to get a head high and a body high. Nowadays, they got the weed to where you're just getting the head level high, and then they're forcing you to go have to buy CBD to get the body high. It's weird. And I think I just figured some shit out. It's like slowly for slowly they're turning weed people that like same shit like people that do dope. You know what I'm saying?
After tracing the purchase of the so-called murder kit, the kettlebells, blue rope, and other supplies to a local retail store, investigators have come across an unlikely suspect.
Because when people do dope or dope cocaine, what's up there? Go get it. The spoon is right, bro.
Why would this kind more party mob be involved in such a heinous crime?
We do some research. Rudy Mark, major
Savage,
cross the line.
But you're seeing that right though, right?
Hey, Siri.
He felt like she stood his way for freedom for him.
Is it good to eat chocolate on your period? Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri.
Unlock it.
Is it good to eat chocolate while you're on your period?
Okay, I found this on the web for is it good to eat chocolate while you're on your period? Check it out.
Hey, Siri. Is it good for women to eat chocolate while on their menstrual cycle?
I found this on the web.
Yes, love. So I could eat chocolate. Now I'm gonna chocolate.
Going to jail, and you kill her too.
So at that point, she shuts them down. Brittany opens her cell phone, claiming that she needs to speak to her attorney. You can tell she's actually on the phone with Horatio.
It was pretty obvious that her loyalty really was with Horatio.
Between Brittany's phone call, the credit card purchase, and the surveillance video, police are fairly certain the two lovers are involved in the murders. But the evidence is purely circumstantial, and investigators are still unable to tie Brittany or Horatio to
best part? What's the best part?
He tells me that he had a direct conversation with Bradley. Bradley more or less confessed.
According to the witness, Stephen said he was hanging out with Blue at the studio when Kenneth Joseph entered, accompanied by his cousin Horatio.
He said that Horatio hit Kenneth with a chair, then placed the chair on top of Kenneth's throat, and then stood on the chair and then jumped on
Big boy flashes cam coming through. In that big boy body, with the Benz and Noah coming through. Better get back. Hold on, boy. Hold on. Yeah, let's go. Slide in that thing. Gotta change my outfit. It's been 3 days. Girl, you don't hate for me.
Taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start
You know, messed up.
You're gonna give me the video.
Huh?
You're gonna give me the stuff. You're gonna keep your head up. Understand?
Sometimes. Now what I said is 5 in my hand. The white government says we don't have a right to own ourselves, but we can't be trusted. But the folks around here, all they're looking for is a little piece of land. There are stashes of guns hidden in this city. I need you to steal.
Sure it's about to holler? I don't need you starting a revolution. Fucking everything.
When you out there running around killing all those crackers, what do you think people will see? I'll tell you what they see. A crazy nigger. A nigger part of a savage hole that needs to be exterminated.
Well, I don't give a shit one way or another. They can come after me.
And what happens when you're not around and another black man or woman is, huh? We all the same to them. Don't you think the people of this neighborhood, the mechanics, the housewives, have a right to defend themselves?
History tells me they're giving you more guns back then.
Not anymore. I'll see to it they get in the hands of the right people.
I'll see what I can do.
I'll make sure you've been through this well.
Don't push me.
You know, at some point you're gonna have to trust me.
Maybe. We ain't there yet.
Investigators allow the couple to reach out to their attorneys, but not before they collect their cell phones as evidence.
You two, what do y'all think? Do y'all think I could trust Sandra? Or no?
Things of that nature, I end up bringing one some cool person. And everyone always thinks of someone who should bring first, but Brittany wasn't doing that. With Brittany refusing.
I mean, I'm in business with you, girl.
Nothing was found in the studio that could further corroborate that story that something happened there.
hold on. We ain't let none of that go unannounced.
It's good to see you again, my friend. We have been blessed.
Nobody was talking to the police. Not one person. Not Brittany and Frank.
You heard about the trial?
Not Tracy.
Trey McCall's mother was just in here the other day.
And all
We'll
those
never have to see that child
what
pass
happened?
away.
Prove our case beyond this.
We need those guns, Lincoln. Now. It will take time, but if you try, Amanda will open up to you. Be patient. We got a lot of work to do, but it can't truly begin until Sally's dead. Now, people speak highly of Burke's daughter, Nikki. I would like to meet her sometime. My sister and I used to jump rope and play hopscotch until well beyond dusk. Those days were good. Innocent.
The prosecution provides a copy of the uncle's statement to Brittany's defense attorney.
At this point, she's been arraigned. She's no longer with her son. She's not seeing her mother, and she's still standing by Horatio.
I said, y'all will get married. She said, yeah. As soon as this is all over, he and I are going to get married. We already talked about it. We might move to Houston.
That's when Brittany's attorney shows her the statement from Horatio's uncle.
So she picks up the report, and she starts reading.
Got an
And I think she sees somebody well up.
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
And she put the paper down, she said, you won't play me, huh? Call those people, I'm gonna tell them the real story.
How can I take off your hands? Our business is done here.
The breaking point was when she realized Horatio didn't love her back. Brittany's lovely. She's an intelligent woman. She's a beautiful woman. But the moment she found out he didn't actually love her, that's when everything broke. I don't think she wants to admit to how weak she had to be to fall for something of that level. It's something that I think is very hard for anyone to accept. To accept that you're willing to sacrifice your life, know that 2 other people have been killed. That's something I can't imagine reconciling in my own mind.
Horatio Jones has each been charged with second degree murder, violent death, Police return. The prosecution presented Brittany's attorney with evidence to check Horatio had been planning on being harmed.
Got the fastest nigga on the streets right now.
Just like I suspected, I got a call.
I got the night crawling in, baby. I got that. Yeah. Cutting up. Get out there, motherfucker. Fuck this shit up.
Brittany says that once she and Lakeitha entered the studio, things took an unexpected turn.
He's gotta be here.
But I hit you before you hit me. But I gotta get you before you get me. On that G5. Got him before he got me. Got him before he got me. Look how I pulled up with the Nightcrawler. I just put up in that motherfucker. It is.
I need someone to kill these ball clay motherfuckers.
I got the room spot. How you get outside, boy? Damn, boy. He said, I ain't ready to die. You're done, boy. Go to sleep, boy. That's definitely the victory song.
They say, hey, come and get in the car for Rachel. They can have you sit down and running with the bodies.
Brittany claims that at that point, Stephen Bradley and Blue drove away in the van. Horatio got in the car with Brittany and told her to follow them.
They don't like me.
Into New Orleans, out towards Chalmette. When they pulled up on top of the bridge, Horatio told us to stop the car.
He got out of the car, went to the edge of the bridge, and over the bridge. He stood there for a while.
Based on Brittany's statement, prosecutors believe Stephen Bradley and Blue dumped the bodies of the Josephs off the bridge while Horatio looked on from a distance.
He's there, but he doesn't dump them. Horatio involves himself just enough. It makes other people play a special
What we going somewhere?
We indicted testified that they died from trauma. So between your last moments, your last waking moments underwater, tied up across somebody that you love, and you think nothing, that has to be one of the worst ways to die. It is incredibly frightening.
Yeah.
Brittany says that a few minutes later, Horatio got back in the car and they continued driving. Brittany's statement allows prosecutors to move forward with their case against Horatio Johnson. And on August 22nd, 2017, his trial gets underway.
Brittany was still in love with this person, but then she decided to take a stand against Horatio. And so Ms. Martin testified.
Horatio Johnson was found guilty as charged of second-degree murder. He was ultimately sentenced to a mandatory life sentence plus 6 years.
Stephen Bradley and his uncle Frank Mike Jr. are both convicted of obstruction of justice.
Stephen Bradley is currently serving a 35-year prison sentence.
Frank Mike received 9 years in Department of Corrections.
The owner of the recording studio, the man known as Blue, remains on the run. There is still a warrant out for his arrest in connection with this case. As for Brittany Martin, in exchange for testifying against her man, she is given a 10-year sentence for
control of whatever gun you bring. Don't doubt me. The Irish know what it's like to be segregated for something that's part of who you are. But Bert is more drunkard than Catholic.
We heard it was
Being
rumored to
Haitian.
be about drugs and money. Prosecutors and police never really were able to uncover any evidence of that.
Though the motive behind the crime may forever be shrouded in mystery, one thing is certain. Brittany Martin's blind devotion to Horatio Johnson cost Kenneth and Lakeitha Joseph their lives.
The only person that could have actually helped did it, and that was Brittany. How could you watch the man you love do this to someone else? How?
She failed to take some action. She could go 911 and maybe but still be alive. But she didn't. She was bitten by the love. She was in love with Horatio Johnson. He had to quiet her soul. Even though her life was changing that night, it only took for him to look her in the eye and say, baby, it's gonna be alright. And she
Being in
believed
this city is hard, but being Haitian in the holler is even harder. My boys know that, and they stand strong and want to change hearts and minds. Emmanuel's working out of the boathouse if we need him. We can't lose sight of Sarah Marcona in all this. Long as he's alive, we will never have peace.
You're drowning, and no one's there to save you. Least of all, the one you love. They say love is blind,
Need the Barclay boys in blue to stand down.
Gotcha. In answer to that question, unearthed a tragic tale of a young woman looking for love. 21-year-old Ashley Bassett grew up in a loving home with her mother and stepfather, Mary and Gertie.
Her mom, Mary, was kind of the go to church every Sunday kind of woman. Her stepfather basically raised her, was a retired guy, still an all-American kind of guy.
Ashley had a great foundation with a single mom and stepfather in the home. Unaware, showered with love and affection, Ashley's life was full of promise.
She always smiled. This fun feeling. She was real sweet.
There he is. Let's go.
They really started struggling with her behavioral issues. She was running with that crowd. She always was a ball. Anything anybody tell her, she'd go along with it. She just was that way.
All units, negative visual on suspect. Repeat, visual contact lost.
Eventually, Ashley's actions landed her in hot water.
They was out there stealing cars and stuff, and he thought it was a duty and everything.
She started dabbling with drugs. She didn't get into trouble with the law.
In October of 2002, Ashley was arrested and locked up on a federal drug possession charge.
She was sentenced to serve a 38-month sentence at a federal prison in Kentucky.
Life in the federal pen was a wake-up call for Ashley. At 21 years old, she decided to leave her wild teenage ways behind and left prison with a plan. She wanted a fresh start.
And she had good intention of doing that. She called me and said, I'm planning on going to nursing school.
She was trying to get her life together, but she really wanted to make something of herself. But before long, Ashley's plan started to unravel. It started when her friend Ray Dandridge.
All units, pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrol. Repeat, pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrol.
The two of them saw something in each other they recognized. They felt a void for each other. They were interference.
The only problem, like Ashley, Ricky had a criminal record.
For robbery and firearms charges.
But unlike Ashley, Ricky and Ray had no plan to start walking the straight and narrow.
Ricky and Ray, they committed some crimes together and were both convicted and served time for this.
Some people learn that Ricky was innocent. Ray was on the street without recognition.
One of my guys picked up chatter on the wire. A crew of officers' men are moving towards Paez as we speak. Think you can get us there ahead of them?
I'm up for trying.
Good. Let's go.
I got two friends of mine that want to take us out.
They become a clique. They form their own little group. As the two couples bonded, Ashley became all consumed by Ricky.
Ricky Gray, he was at least 6 foot tall, very muscular, a big guy. He had a certain
The department store Paez works out of is up in Frisco Fields. A place called Flush Rose.
All right, we'll get there right quick. How exactly does an old money shop like West Rose end up employing a Cuban exile working for the CIA?
Old money comes with a lot of old secrets. And 10,000 taxpayer dollars each month.
Motherfuckers call me a criminal.
Come on, my grandmother can drive faster than this.
So let's go get the old bag and see what she can do.
There's West Road.
No sign of Aldridge's men.
This hour, Paez should be on duty with the rest of the janitorial staff. Let's get in there and find him.
pocket for car repairs again.
Wait, really?
I've had 2 claims for over $4,300.
But does endurance raise your rate the more claims you file?
No, your rate stays the same no matter how many claims you file.
Right now, you can get $300 off any plan. Plus, a year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
You
Go
look like
online
you heard about
or
the goddamn
call
blender.
1-866-288-1209 for free quote.
Last time I saw him, he
No
was on the
application
third
fees to
floor.
apply by June 1st.
Thanks.
University of Maryland Global
And you and
Campus.
your kids want to keep
Offering
the region
online
chill
and
out.
hybrid courses
That's
and
real
lifetime
out
career
there
services.
too.
Learn about our more than 135 degrees and certificates at umgc.edu.
I got 2 words for you. Loyalty program. Snag this hotel for $259. You didn't check your Vago?
Yeah, I know.
I got it for $155. Yo, Benny, this guy didn't check your Vago. Well, you have to check your Vago. Want your Vago? You can compare prices from multiple sites and loyalty programs and prices from hotel websites. Same hotel, $100 less. 2 words. Check Trivago. Benny, check Trivago to compare prices and save up to 40%. Hotel. Trivago.
January 6, 2006. Richmond police have discovered Perciel and Mary Tubbs viciously murdered, found, stabbed, and suffocated in their own home. Police are still searching for the couple's daughter, Ashley.
In the far back of the house, laying on the bed in the bedroom, I see another body on the bed on the film.
Depends. Who the fuck is after? You motherfuckers who are trying to keep your ass alive.
Ashley has
We need to
suffered the
move.
same fate as her parents.
Now.
You see, it's the same type of scenario where she's down, plastic bag that was over her head.
Don't think about it. Shoot it.
Hey, babe. What time is my daughter?
7:30. It's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Getting low. Let's drive this train all the way to the end, Ray. What the fuck is this about?
It's about you, Buster, Bob Powell, and one goddamn shit.
I can assume that they want me dead and you want me alive. You most certainly can, but...
Got him now. Taking cover. On your knees. Fucking come. I'm empty. Give me a second. Taking cover.
Can you move? You're not with them. You're against them.
On your knees. My friend, Tony.
None of this makes any sense. That can't be how it happened.
Shit, I ain't die. I can't even get up. What the hell is going on? I didn't even die. I'm still alive. It froze. What the fuck?